What up, guys? So, this is a special show, a mini show, I guess you could call it. I just wanted to kind of get, I know you guys probably know this, but some people don't know this about Trey Lance, and, I'll be talking about his second pro day, but also, it was interesting, Dan Graziano, I think his name is, he wrote an article the other day about saying that Kyle Shanahan we're going to be talking about today, we're going to be talking about the interesting things about Trey Lance and about what makes a case for what we're going to draft, why we're going to draft him. So, Dan Graziano wrote an article a few days ago that John Beck, former quarterback's coach and quarterback, I believe, Kyle Shanahan sent John Beck to Trey Lance, and he actually sent John Beck, and John Beck a few weeks ago was working with Trey Lance for a few weeks. John Beck actually, a former QB coach for Kyle Shanahan, Dan Graziano reported this. He has been working with Trey Lance the last few weeks, working with him up to his second pro day, and that's just a testament to me because it means, well, Kyle Shanahan is interested. What this means to me is he's trying to get, because we don't have a big sample size of Trey Lance this year, the year that he played, Kyle Shanahan is trying to get as much information and film on Trey Lance as possible, and so he will have more of a sample size than usual. He is trying to get as much, sample size as possible so he can maybe look at that. And so that was interesting because John Beck, a former QB coach and quarterback, was sent by Kyle Shanahan to go and work with Trey Lance. So for the past few weeks, Trey Lance has been working with John Beck, sent by Kyle Shanahan, and that's very interesting. Now, we know that they went to his second pro day. Well, I looked at his second pro day highlights. Go check that out, guys. You can find a few articles that have it, and it is very impressive. He was actually throwing to former receiver Jordan Matthews. It's very impressive, honestly. His throws were on point. He had a great arm, was very precise. And the thing that I like about Trey Lance is he's more precise than you think. I mean, he in North Dakota he's calling reads at the line, plays in a pro style offense, knows the system. That's the difference. The difference between him and Justin Fields is Justin Fields got a lot of it from the coach. He got a lot of his plays from the coach. He didn't have to read the plays as much. But in the 49ers offense, you have to read the coverages. The quarterback has to read the coverages and determine by himself. And so, Trey Lance, that could be a huge thing. But the thing that I most got out of this is this guy has been working with him for the past few weeks. The 49ers are interested. I don't even want to hear about, yes, it's close. I think the 49ers, what this was for, was to gather as much information as possible. Kyle Shanahan is really trying to do his homework because it's like you don't want to repeat 2017 where you're so sold on Kirk Cousins that Patrick Mahomes gets passed. You're so sold on trading for Kirk Cousins that you're so sold at trading for Kirk Cousins that you pass up on Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. You just don't want to do that again. So the thing with me is I think he's not trying to repeat that again, and he's trying to get as much information on these quarterbacks as possible. But it's interesting that Trey Lance, Justin Fields, he went to the second pro day. Big deal. Big freaking deal. He went to his second pro day, doesn't matter. But the thing is, he didn't send somebody for 2 weeks to get Trey Lance. to work with Justin Fields, but he sent somebody for 2 weeks to work with Trey Lance. What does that say to you? I want to ask you guys this question. What does that say to you? What does it say about what Hughesy's interested in? I think he's interested in Mac Jones, but who is he really interested in? Justin Fields or Trey Lance? I think it would be Trey Lance, just because he's trying to gather information, because this is a hard call. And honestly, I'm more interested in Trey Lance because, Trey Lance, I just can't get over the fact that every time he throws, like, some people comp him to Colin Kaepernick. That's not a good comp. It's not. It's really not. Because if you look back, shout out Haberman and Middlehoff, their show's very good, but they actually broke down a few plays from his second pro day. And they even said this. They said it's not a good comp comparing him to Colin Kaepernick. Because when he rolls, I think it was left, Colin Kaepernick, he put a dime in the air. Actually, I'll show you. He put a dime in the air completely. When he was rolling left while throwing it. A perfect dime. And I remember this was actually the pass to Jordan Matthew. Rolling left, throwing a perfect dime, like actually throwing a perfect throw right here where it wants to be, on the run to the outside. It was like a 5-yard out. I think it was a 5-yard out. And Colin Kaepernick never used to be able to do that. And the thing that most impressed me was that he threw it high. Colin Kaepernick would always roll left and throw it low and fastball and wasn't on the money. So comparing his arm strength and his accuracy to Colin Kaepernick is not a good comparison, because Colin Kaepernick never used to be able to do the things that Trey Lance used to be able to do. Trey Lance always can roll left while throwing. Colin Kaepernick never used to be as good with his... Colin Kaepernick, I can compare Kellen Mond a lot to Colin Kaepernick, because Colin Kaepernick never used to be able to do... Kellen Mond's much like Colin Kaepernick. He's a little bit stiff in the pocket, and that's how Colin Kaepernick is. But Trey Lance is great. He's great at his mechanics, as much as you want to say not. He's great at his mechanics, and I just really like how Trey Lance is constructed. Just really like that part about Trey Lance. And as much as you think Trey Lance is not a proper pocket quarterback, great pocket presence, and can do all the throws. I mean, if you see this throw, he was rolling left on a play action and was throwing to the out. I mean, it was a perfect dime. So go check out his highlights for his second pro day. You should be able to find a few clips. But interesting article that Dan Graziano made, because that's interesting. I'm just saying, guys. Check it out. So, like, subscribe, peace.